Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name is Colin Weitzman. I'm going to be your host of this episode of Track World News presented by Track Barn. And today we have a very special guest joining us. We have coming in with a 9.85 PR. He is a five-time USA champion, runner-up in the World Championships as well. US record holder in the 4x1, Mike Rogers joining us. Mike, thank you for coming along. Really appreciate it.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, before we get into some track and field stuff, sure, a lot of people curious, like, what are some things that you enjoy doing, off the track, when you're not running, when you're not training, what are some things that you like to do? I know I think I've seen some pictures on Instagram with you is that your son at Texas?
No, that was actually at the spring game. I actually
Okay.
DJ for the University of Texas. I DJ in my off time or in my spare time. It's like a hobby I picked up, and it's just taking off. So it's always an extra stream of income too. So yeah, I like it.
There you go. How long have you been DJing for? What got you into that?
It's been 13 years, man. I just like music. I'm a music head. I used to go to the studio all the time with my friends. I have friends like who are very, very big DJs for like Sean Kingston and Lil Durk and stuff like that. So like I was always around them when I was in school, and it just rubbed off on me, I guess, and I just stuck with it.
Did you ever think about rapping or producing, or was it always the DJing that caught you out?
I used to just sit there and just try to make beats and stuff like that, but it's boring and it's long hours, and like I like to have like control over like a crowd and stuff like that, and I can talk as well on the mic, so it's like I enjoy it. I don't just like DJing, I enjoy it.
Do you have any I'm sure you've probably done hundreds of sets by now, maybe even thousands of DJing. Do you have any like sets or horror stories or just crazy things that happen that stick out in your mind with your 13 years of DJing that you've done?
Man, the worst thing that can happen is just your computer crash during the set. That has happened before, and I was like, oh man, what is going on here? Like, as Mac updates like their software, so I use a program called Serato. They're so slow on updating their stuff, so it would be all kind of bug fixes and everything. So before every set, if I had a gig tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure my Serato is updated, because not your computer will freeze, tracks will start disappearing and stuff like that. Man, it's pretty weird. But yeah, that's really the main thing with DJing, is having the proper equipment and proper software and firmware.
There you go. I remember this was back when, the like Guitar Hero and everything was big. I remember I had DJ Hero. Oh man, I'd be playing that thing for days. I remember I had back with COVID, with the shutdown, I think I beat that game 2 or 3 times. I was just playing so much. Oh yeah, turntables. Gotta love it, man. And so that kind of goes into our first fan question. So it's pretty perfect. This was from Run Spike Run. He says, what would you say is the most underrated hype song?
Underrated. Man, it depends what type of song he's talking about. Like, I really feel like Super Gremlin don't get the notoriety it needs to get. The Kodak Black song, that's a good song, man. Super Gremlin. I think that will probably be played more in football stadiums and stuff this fall. I think they overlooked it when it first came out, but now the song is starting to get, the kudos that it deserves.
Yeah, I play it whenever I got a big lift coming up. That's like one of the next ones coming up. With whether it's a lift or a run or a workout, whatever it is, what are there any songs that have just withstand the test of time and have been in your workout playlist for a long time? Like what songs are
definitely March Madness has not left my playlist yet. Future has not left my playlist. So anything Future will be on my playlist. I'm actually excited for this album that he's about to drop on the 29th.
I saw that. It's going to be good. By the time you're listening to this, it's already came out. So we'll see. Hopefully it's a good one.
Right. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully you didn't disappoint me.
There we go. Another fan question that we got. This is coming from Coach D Woods 90. He says, what are some things that you've learned that you wish you knew sooner?
Man, so the year I ran sub 10 16 times, 2015, um, I learned how to actually perfect my dry phase. I really feel like if I learned it in college, I wouldn't have been playing catch up as a pro. You know, I wasn't really a 100-meter sprinter. I was a quarter miler. I just dropped down to the 100 and I just ended up experimenting at OBU and I ended up running 10-0. That's why I left and went pro. But if I would have learned that before, I think I probably could have maybe ran faster than 985. I ran 980 windy twice, but I really feel like I could have ran like 97 if I figured it out.
Do you think that that realizing the dry phase, was it like one thing in practice just clicked, or was it kind of over time where you realized it?
It was just over time and just watching film. Like now, a lot of the athletes, the younger athletes, are starting to realize, oh, you really have to be in tune with your event to run fast. So now I'll see like some of these new kids on their phone or on their iPad looking at their race and looking what they need to clean up. And when I went pro, wasn't nobody doing that. Those older guys were so cocky and they were running so insane times so fast they wasn't doing that. But like now these kids are going to study to see what to do to run fast. And that's the big difference to why everybody's running so fast right now, because they're really, trying to learn their craft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's if you can be a student of the game, realizing what it is that you got to do, that can help you really help you grow. When some people it's like, no, I just get on the track and run, man. Just get your legs moving as quick as possible, and realize that might not be the number one way to run these crazy sub 10 times. So yeah,
Right.
definitely for sure. And then another question that we got, this was from YK. It's Mary. They say, what is keeping you motivated currently while running?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have an individual outdoor medal at the World Championships or Olympics. I need one of those before I hang up the spike. So hopefully I can get that done this year or next year. I mean, I got the Pan Am gold medal. I was the first American to win Pan Ams in 100 meters in a long time. But I didn't really count that, because I felt like none of the big names were there. I mean, I counted it as, okay, it's a Pan Am championship, but like I want to do it at World Championships or Olympic Games.
Yeah, and name a better place than doing it on home soil with
Exactly. Don't have to get on the plane, ain't got to deal with food or no issues or jet lag. We just stay in the States. Yeah.
There you go. Works out well. And then before we go on over to some track stuff. So you're from St. Louis though, right?
Yeah, St. Louis.
All right. How in the hell are you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but you're from St. Louis? People got to know that. I see on Twitter, Steelers Nation, all
Yeah,
over the
man.
place.
Like, a lot of my family is East Coast. They're from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and
Coatesville.
they're
Oh,
they're
that's my.
all Steelers fans. My sister actually that lives there, she's an Eagles fan. So when they got Devin, she was talking trash to me. But I was like, I'm still not gonna go against my Steelers. I think we're gonna have a good season this year.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Coatesville. That's right in my district. I raced against them all the time. Oh, that's
yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, I went to Coatesville High School that's where our district championship was. Yeah, that's I think Terrence Laird. Yeah, he went there. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm excited to see how Devin Allen's gonna be doing. Another track guy trying out in the NFL. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think it's gonna end up going?
I pretty much like I watched that because I'm an Oregon football fan too. So I've seen Devin play. Devin can really play, and he has great ball skills, but his body just didn't hold up in college. I think he has more muscle now and mass now than he had in college. So I think he's gonna plan out perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he's gonna be moving on. Like when I seeing him compete in the NFL, I was like, oh, that's great. And then I was like, oh, we went to the Eagles too. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan myself.
Oh,
like,
fly, huh?
There we go. And then so now I wanted to get started on where track and field really started for you. Like, what got you interested in running, and how did you start the sport?
And actually, I didn't even run track. I was playing basketball and football at my high school, and we had this driver's ed instructor. He was the track coach. And this guy was begging me, Ride Stags. He's like my white daddy. So he came out there. He said, "Man, you fast, man. Maybe I think you can, do some damage out here." And I never paid him no attention. I'm like, I'm not going out there wearing those little bitty shorts and this tank top. Man, I'm too cool for this because I was, I played basketball, I played football, so it was like I didn't think, track was for me. And then he actually got me out there and I seen how fun it was. And then I stuck with it. He turned me into the first Missouri State champion to win the 100, 200, 400, and 4x4. I was the first person in Missouri history to do that. And then the funny thing is when my little sister went to high school, she did the same thing.
Jeez, you're almost so you probably almost single-handedly just won the entire state title, right there then, huh?
Yeah, I did my senior year. Yeah. And the thing is, like, the athletes I had to go to even win a state title, because the first couple years I were out there, we had like Dominique Peterson, Miles Smith, like we had some fast kids out there, like who was running. And I was like, man, I'm not going to beat these dudes. So I had to wait my time. So it's like I got better each year I was out there.
Mm-hmm. I know also he's from St. Louis as well, Brandon Miller,
Yeah.
guy from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
You follow up with him, seeing another St. Louis guy?
Yeah, man. It's exciting to see somebody else, it's probably going to be as big as me or bigger than me, just to seeing, him from St. Louis. You also got Justin Robinson, too. He goes to Arizona State, so it's a lot of kids coming up from St. Louis that are running fast right now.
Yeah, we got some good speed for sure. I mean, you mentioned that, your sister, she was also a, big time with track as well. Did you guys have many sibling rivalries, first one to the car, first one to whatever, growing up?
Not really. I just feel like when I left and they got to see like how much I grew with the sport, they fell in love with it. And, they're twin sisters. I have two, they're fraternal twins. So, they did their thing in high school, they won state, and they kept the tradition going. Like they won state all 4 years when they were in school, Gatorade Athlete of the Year, all that. So they did everything that I did and then some.
How did it feel as the older brother to be like, oh yeah, like, you played a little bit of a hand of it, where I'm sure they were definitely looking up to you as, the guy to try to replicate. How'd that feel?
Yeah, so my breaking point, my season in 2009, that was the first U.S. title I won. Guess what? My little sister, she won junior nationals in the 4 that year to go to Trinidad on the world junior team. That was crazy too. So that was just so surreal just to have that moment. Got to share it with my family.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, to be able to see like, oh, we all fast. You got a family of speed. Like
right, exactly.
It's all working out. It's all working out. And so then something that makes the story even more impactful is that, a lot of people probably looking at, okay, what school did all these fast people go to? You get the Tennessees, you get the Texases, and then you go down your name. You came out of an NAIA school. I mean, could you touch on what drew you to going NAIA, and then how you kind of progressed to being, one of the best to do it?
It was completely on accident. I actually went to Iowa State, to run, and I got recruited illegally, whatever the case may be. A lot of stuff went down. Clearinghouse kicked me out of school. So I actually transferred to the school called Lindenwood, and my high school coach had took over the sprinting job there, but I couldn't get on the team when I first got there. So I actually was playing basketball in college until I was able to walk on and get on the team and get a scholarship. So that's how I ended up doing that. And I started, excelling at Lindenwood, but I was with a whole bunch of people from the islands that were on my team. So the competition I think I got better being at Lindenwood because I was there with a bunch of JUCO transfers, D1 transfers, people from the islands. So, I mean, they really tested my will if I really wanted to go to the next level to run track. So, I think Lindenwood, and I think, when I went to Oklahoma Baptist, I was so seasoned, I knew what to do. So, I was a tough person to beat by the time I got to Oklahoma Baptist. I was a complete sprinter. Like I ran 100, 200, 400 when I got there.
So how was that? That time had to be pretty hectic for you. I mean, going to where, you think you're going to be running, at one place, doesn't, there's some things going on, and then you're playing basketball. How's that? What was going on in your head as like an 18-year-old kid, having all of this stuff just kind of changing around you?
Yeah, to be honest, I was really depressed, and I had to leave Iowa State. Like I had to come back home to St. Louis, because Lindenwood was only like across the bridge in Missouri. So Had to come home, had to stay with my mom for a little bit. I had just got my freedom. I was happy. I'm gone, D1 school. Yeah, these people love me. And I never got the opportunity to step on the track as a D1 athlete. But I think it just made me stronger and a lot better person, going to a smaller school. And I actually had to work harder to get, NCAA. A lot of people that come out of there, or you win NCAA, you're guaranteed a shoe contract. Me, I have to work for mine. But, I made a name for myself.
Yeah. And then you end up being, I believe it still stands today, having the 60-meter record for all NAIA. Is that correct?
Man, no, this guy broke it from Langston
Okay.
this year. He broke it. He ran 6:60, I think.
And so it stood up there for a long time.
A long time. He wrote me on Twitter. He said, I finally broke it. And he was close. Like every year he was getting closer to it, and he finally broke it this year.
There you go. So it stood a long time. But could you touch on the fact that, a lot of people think in order to run fast, you got to run at these big Power 5 schools, and you're showing like not only do you not have to go Power 5, like you don't even have to, compete in the Division I system. Like, could you kind of touch on like, what you learned in, while you were in college there?
What I learned is like the smaller schools have the budget to go to the Power 5 schools to go run. They might not have the facilities and stuff like that, but they have the money to put you in the competitions to where you will race against the best every weekend. And a lot of kids don't know that. They just, get to see the glitz and glam. They go on their recruiting visits and stuff like that, and they'll get to see like, oh, I want to go to this school because they got this, and that. And it's like really you're getting spoiled, but you don't know how good the coaching is and stuff like that. But like the schools I came from actually have like good coaches and, not the best facility. They have facilities enough to where, hey, I can get the job done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, shoot, look at Mount Sac. That's a community college JUCO. It's got the nicest track in the nation, pretty much.
Man, I was like, oh my God, this is a JUCO? This is crazy.
Yeah, I did not notice that until pretty recently. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought this was like, a D1 school out in California. It's not? Like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And so 2007, you turned pro. What was that process like? Because you mentioned like you had to really fight to get that shoe contract, with Nike there. Like, what was that turning pro process like for you?
So basically, I left my junior year, so it was like I was like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know what was going on, but my coach now has been my coach this whole entire time. Daryl Woodson, he recruited me actually to come down to Austin to train. I stayed at his house. I came down here with like literally nothing, no job, no nothing, no phone, no nothing. And I grinded, man. I grinded hard. Like my first season with him, I won indoor USAs. I don't think I lost. I think I maybe lost one or two races that year. So it was like, all right, well, am I gonna get a contract or not? I mean, Nike was at my neck. Well, actually, Adidas was on my neck at first. And I don't think Nike really knew how good I was going to be. They were like, oh, he's small. He's not going to run fast. And I started running the big dog times. And they came to Jamaica with their paperwork and the equipment. And they were like, you're not signing with Adidas. And I ended up signing with Nike. And I've been with Nike this whole time, my whole career.
There you are. Yeah. What?
Never been cut. No, not reduced. None of that.
This is year 15 now, right?
15, man. 15.
Man, people are in high school now that were born when you're starting out that career, freshman high school. So what would you say has been a key to your longevity? Like, not many people have, long careers in sprinting. I mean, we've seen it with Justin Gatlin. He had a really long career. Yourself, Allison Felix on the women's side, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price as well. But usually, like with sprinting, it's a pretty short career. Like, what do you attribute to being your key to being able to do this so long?
I just feel like I started sprinting later than everybody else. A lot of people like they did this like for real in high school and stuff like that. Like me, I didn't run all the summer track and all that stuff. I played football and I played basketball. I played other sports, so my body didn't get worn out. I really feel like I'm just now getting into, okay, I know my event now. It took a little minute because when you're running 100 at a pro level, it's so many little things that you have to learn and tweak, to be good and to run fast. And over time, your body will learn it. And then you can go back and you be like, hey, I can do this. Like right now, I can run a race. And after I cross the finish line, I know what I did wrong. Right off the bat, I know what I did wrong. I'd be like, man, I did this at the start. I did this in my drive phase. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's stuff that that comes with time, with the repetitions, and yeah, like you said, I mean, starting later on, I mean, with sprinting, it's like it seems like you only get a certain amount of miles that you can put on your legs, and so it's
Right.
like, are you gonna put them on your legs when you're 11 years old? Or are you gonna put them on your legs when you're 31 years old? You get to
Right.
pick, but you get one. It seems like, yeah, the way that you've done it has really helped to extend the career a little bit there,
Yeah.
for sure. And so you mentioned, was it 2009? You said that was the your 16 under 10, or was it
No,
2008?
2015.
Oh, 15. Sorry, 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Bring us through that year where it just seems like every race, things are clicking for you. Like what was going on in 2015?
That and I was chasing Justin Gatlin while he was running 9.7 every track meet. So I mean that helped to it because he had is probably his best season then too. So it's like, man, everything was just clicking. Everything was just clicking. I couldn't do nothing wrong that year. Couldn't. But my body was so beat up after 15. I don't think I got back healthy until 18. And that's when I ran fast again. That's when I ran 9.8 in the prelims, and I went and left and went to my son's summer track meet, ESPN Nationals. I didn't want to miss it. So that's why I didn't run the next 2 rounds. Everybody asked me, man, were you hurt? I said, no, I just wanted to be there for my son. Like USA's didn't mean anything that year. So, I ran fast to show everybody like, hey, I'm here still. So, and I left and went to Florida and watched my son get third at ESPN Nationals. That was crazy.
There you go. Oh, that's awesome. That's all.
Yeah.
Is your son still running today?
Man, look, my son doesn't like track like that. He's grown into a baseball player. He plays second base on a World Series team in Houston, and he plays football right now. So he's traveling playing baseball right now. So
Oh,
he was
wow.
like, he calls me like, Dad, this is so hard. I can't balance this and school. I said, this is what life is with college and stuff like that. So get used to it. So
Mhm.
I mean, he's enjoying the process and he likes it. I didn't think he would like baseball, but he does. And he plays second base. So he's good.
There you go. You said, wait, so he was at the Little League World Series?
No, he's on one of those teams that be going and compete in Houston. He's on the All-Star Select team. So yeah,
Okay.
second baseman. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome. That's very cool. And so then was it 2011? That was your 985 or the first
Yeah, 2011. Yeah.
2011.
2011.
What was that like what was the at the end of the race? Because you mentioned now how like, oh, I know exactly what I did wrong. Know exactly what I did wrong. In 2011, was at that point when you finished the race, were you like, oh yeah, I did a lot of stuff right here?
Man, actually, I didn't even think I ran that fast that race. Because Steve Mullins won the race with 979 or 980 or something like that. And I went back and looked at the race. I didn't get a good start, none of that. But I felt like my top end in 2011 was crazy. And that's why I ran that fast. But I ran a lot of sub-10s that year too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then, something that a lot of people would be looking into, obviously 2016 Olympics, the dreaded missed handoff that happened, and then that leading to some changes in the rules. Could you break down like, what happened with the handoff, and then after when you realize, oh no, the not getting the bronze anymore?
So the handoff, see, we thought the handoff was fine because we were in the zone. He didn't touch it until we got into the zone. But I'm gonna tell you how Great Britain did this. They got drones and they had an overhead view of the handoff, and they said we were a centimeter outside of the triangle. How can you see a centimeter by the naked eye? And how are you able to use your footage to get us DQ out of the Olympic Games? That was the cake of all cakes, and that's why the rule got changed. And even the verbiage in the rule was stated wrong. So it was like, man, like we got DQ'd off a centimeter.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
like man, if you just had cut the nails a little bit shorter that day or something like that. That's crazy. Like, I mean, after what happened? So obviously the race finishes and you don't realize anything right away. Like when were you told like, oh no, that?
So when we got to the media zone, and Lewis Johnson was like, man, you guys got DQ'd. We was like, for what? So they had all these angles of us replaying with the stick, and Lewis couldn't even tell us himself that we got DQ'd. Like nobody really knew because it was that close. But that footage that Great Britain showed of us handing off in the zone, the overhead view, that's the only way you could see it. You couldn't see it on any other view because I had to stick out and I had it in his hand and I just kept it in both our hands till we got into the zone, because I thought that was the correct way, but it wasn't. He couldn't
Yeah.
touch it at all before the triangle, but it was a centimeter before. So it was that much difference.
That's gotta stink. That's why that's not a yeah. I'd be thinking about that 1 centimeter in my whole life. Just like, man, are you kidding me? Like I thought that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, but you got your redemption though. 2019 Doha.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
able to get the national record with the time. What was it? 37:10.
37:10. Yeah.
37:10. What was that like? Now you guys are able to get some redemption in 2019 with a crazy time for the US.
I just feel like we took more control that year. That morning, me, Christian, Gatlin, and Noah sat down and we got on the same page and said, man, we got to win this thing because I'm tired of this media back. The media was harsh on us in Doha, like bad. And we almost didn't make it to the next round. Like I actually dove and gave Cravon Gillespie the baton the first round so we can get to the next round. And then we just made some adjustments and got it done. And we had a little more practice 2019 and we trusted each other. That was my first time ever running third leg, ever. First time.
Yeah, you're usually a first leg guy, right?
First, second, or last. I've never ran third leg. I didn't even know how to stand. Like, I don't even know how I caught on so fast. And I still think like our exchanges they were good, but they could have been better. And I think we could have got the world record. I think we could have got it that day. We could have got it. So
yeah. That was the video of just Noah Lyles going through at the end. I think I see that like that 5-second clip like all the time of him with the hand up with the baton. So yeah, that put together a crazy time. And I know, so this was recently, Carl Lewis, he chimed in saying how, pretty much count USA out for 4x1s because
Carlos is a hater, man. He be hating on us. If he wanted us to succeed so bad, he should have took the relay job. He should have just took it. I mean, you coach at the University of Houston, but it take 1 month, 1 or 2 months out your schedule, come help with the USA relay. To then, he's not allowed to even talk to us. Like, you're not helping us. You're downing us. He's supposed to be helping us. You're older. You're respected. You're decorated in the relays, open. Basically, everybody said he's the best American sprinter. If you're the best American sprinter and you have that type of juice, why don't you share those gems with us? I mean, he did help us when we were in the Bahamas, when we beat both of them in the world relay. He did had a big part in that. He helped Dennis Mitchell out with that. But I mean, if you're gonna down us like that, don't keep your comments to yourself. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it stinks because it's the US has always got, if you look at the top season best for every single year, it's going to be USA, like the top ones. It's every single time. It's just super, super competitive. I mean, looking back from your career so far of what you've had, like who are some notable sprinters you're like, oh yeah, they gave me, some trouble. Like whenever I lined up and I saw this person on the side, I knew it was going to be a good race.
Man, I think every race I've been in with Marcel Jacob has been fast. Every race I've been in with Akali Sambini has been fast. Tyson, when he was in his prime, every race was fast. Boat, all those guys. Y'all came in the era where everybody was running 9.7. And I feel like it's getting back to that now, on my tail end. Like you got college kids running 9 Wendy, 9.83, Michael Williams, him. Then you're gonna have all these other college. Matt Bowling just went sub 10 for the first time, 1992. Like nationals is gonna be crazy this year. Like to make the team, I think 9.8 probably won't even make the team. You don't have to run 9.7 to make the team. 9.80 at best may get third, something like that. But it's gonna be fast. I know it's gonna be fast this year.
Yeah, the US is just absolutely stacked. It's crazy to think, and it's like while it'll be difficult to make the team, if you make it, that means you're probably going to be in that medal contention or gold medal call because it's like you have to go through so much just to get there. So if you do get there, it's like you're in a good
USA Nationals is basically world championships. And we got to stay there again and do it again in like 2 weeks or a week after that. This is the earliest world championships I've ever probably going to be a part of. Like it's super early. Like everything is like super early this year. And so that's why everybody's getting all their races in and going to these collegiate meets, because time clock getting real short right now.
It was a very, very fast turnover from the Olympics last year. You got this, and so it's just really fast from last season to this season. I mean, for you, you mentioned early on, like, hey, one goal you want to make sure that you're getting the individual outdoor gold here. We have the World Championships coming up. Like, what are some aspects of your race, your training, whatever it might be, that you're going to be focusing in on? So it's like, hey, you're able to fire when it comes to
So from now until nationals, I'm working on my last 35. My start is there right now, but got to work on my last 35 to be in the hunt. I mean, you got guys running the 400, stepping down, running the 100 now, so like they're not breaking at that point, so they're still accelerating. So just got to clean that up and fix that up. I think I'll be fine. These next couple races should be able to tell me where I'm gonna be at probably about time trials get here. So I mean, I could really get the test to see where I'm at in Nairobi and Puerto Rico coming up.
There you go. So I know one thing. I'm sure you've probably been asked a ton of times, but what's the next step look like for you? You're one of the veterans on the circuit here. You've been able to see a lot of people coming through track. Like, has that come across your mind at all, or are you just focused in on? No, I
haven't really gave it thought. I mean, I started a boutique called Dripaholics, the brand. I started that this year. I'm supposed to be getting this restaurant going. I just been so busy, I haven't been able to do it. It's gonna be called Munchie's Kitchen. So I already got out the LLC and stuff like that. I'm starting to get ready for life after this now, and then so I can watch my kids do what they want to do. So I'm just excited just to be a father again and be home and just get to see my kids grow up and just make passive income. Just that's what I'm gonna do.
There you go. I mean, it's been crazy. Just I'm sure the amount of countries you probably traveled to. Do you know how many countries you've probably traveled to by now?
I don't know, but I'm on my fourth passport. Okay, fourth passport. And this one is starting to get full. So
there you go. Gonna need a fifth one soon.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Michael Rogers, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been awesome hearing about what you've accomplished and what's coming up this season for you. Where can people go if they would like to learn more about you and follow more on your story?
Man, go to my IG, follow me at Rodgerdat100, RODGERDAT 100, and go in there. And if you want to follow my DJ page, it's at DJ Rodgerdat. That's the IG as well. So.
Yeah, if you got any weddings, parties, whatever in the Texas area, right?
Yeah, I'm in Austin. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. You know who to call. Well, thank you, Mike, for so much for doing this. And thank you to everyone for listening. This has been another episode of Track World News. If you want more content, go and follow us over on Instagram at Track World News. We post almost daily over there. That's going to do it from us. Have a good one. Peace.